Hey guys, just a quick public service announcement. Hopefully you haven't pulled your daily free summon. You're about to watch a session of RBTL, and I did the recording for this. I'm going to stitch this together because this is a very important note. If you haven't pulled your free daily, don't pull it until after the patch notes, alright? Don't pull it until after the patch because 5-star MLs are going to be implemented in it. So there's a possibility that you can get it, alright? So don't do it. Just note that, okay? Enjoy the video. Enjoy the rest of the video. Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL. So this is a big, I would say, patch note. ML Ravi's coming, and a lot of our anticipated changes are here now with screenshots, so they're solidified, so we can actually not speculate. This page, of course, it does display the 5-star MLs. Oh, sorry, all the MLs rather are added now into the regular Covenant summon as promised. Now, from this batch, I'm not 100% sure on the pity system yet, but when the pity system per banner is implemented, the only ways to really get the ML heroes are on the regular Covenant summon tab, which is the first tab listed on the right here, not the actual banner one. So whether it's a rerun banner or it's a new hero, you won't be able to get them since they're going to be locked to that specific hero that you're pulling for. So I think, if players are going to be bored and want to try their luck at getting a 5-star ML based on the Covenant summon, you have a 0.15% chance. Just keep that in mind. So it's a low chance, but it's still added in the pool, and I've gotten aimed for the main hero, which is at like a 1%, I believe, usually on their actual legit banners. And then the off banner ones share the rest of the percentage, and I've been salty and gotten off banners too. So likelihood of you eventually getting a 5-star ML is way better now because you got the Covenant summon, you still got the Moonlight summon, you got ML summons now. Oh sorry, you got the Mystic summons, you got the ML summons, and then of course Mystics now have pity, right? So 200, so that works out to be at least 10,000 Mystic bookmarks. Not cheap, of course, but for whales, I believe they can achieve this once every time they buy the Mystic packs. But of course, that's a lot of money. If they don't do it, at least even for a free-to-play, you will eventually get the featured 5-star ML. So if there's 200 summons and you don't have enough Mystic bookmarks throughout the whole month to get like ML Ravi, let's say, on the banner, you're going to eventually get either the one next or the following one, depending on the rate of you getting Mystic medals. Now, just in case I do miss this note, that Mystic medals are added to the secret shop. It is a part of our patch. So after the maintenance, or after the patch rather, Mystics are now going to be in the secret shop at 50 Mystics. So one pull per purchase. So one full hero pull or artifact pull or whatever per purchase. So it's kind of like the Covenant summons, those Covenant bookmarks that you can get from the shop. It's usually one pull for 184,000 gold. I don't know if there's going to be the same price. It's not discussed in this patch note, I believe, but I'm assuming it's going to be the same. It could be more expensive, but I don't care. It's going to be... You can grind the gold. It's harder to grind the actual Mystic metal, so it's actually worth it. Perhaps even refreshing the shop might be somewhat worth it if you get good luck. Some changes here. You guys can do the specific readings, but they are going to rotate the ML 5-star, of course, with the dates there. You can see specifically, and then the 4 stars. Now apparently, based on this, we are going to get returns of the 4-star MLs are already in the pool. So there could be new ones, of course, in the future, just like as they have done so in the past. But it's kind of nice that they're gonna rotate them. So people who want BBK, so from myself, like maybe I want a BBK, maybe I want Oxlots, I don't have those heroes. It's really low chance to be able to get the exact 4-star hero you want. So it's gonna be from the Galaxy pulls, from the actual ML pulls. But now with this, you can actually up the chances of getting the 4-star hero that you want. So I really love the new system. Love the pity. I love every part of it. It's better than it was before, so there is no complaints from my end whatsoever. Graphical changes, while I would say unnecessary, it's nice to have this change. It's nice to have the game change their UI, change all this stuff like within a year. It's very nice. It just shows how proactive this company is. So I really love this. Yeah, this hero relationship improvements. It seems to be that they're gonna do this like live as the story progresses. The connections also progress and change. So perhaps someone was friendly, just friendly before, then it became longing. I don't know why Aether has longing for Raz and the Vilgin, but hostile relationships could eventually be friendly. We don't know as the story progresses, so that's kind of nice. It's just a very nice aspect. Now I have to say that I myself I'm not affected by this too much. Perhaps this will change the morale as well, like morale team setups in the future. We'll have to see, but in the sense of like, if you only care about like the lore between like heroes, I'm not a lore person myself. I don't read the story as much as like other like I didn't read the entire season 1 or chapter 1, so like there's a lot of relationships I had no idea. I had to guess. So like people telling me like that Destine is actually a dude but reincarnated into like his girlfriend's body or whatever. I'm like, what? Stuff like that I won't know, so I'm not the one to go for. But interesting though. It's just the amount of detail that they put into this is awesome. I did watch the Moonlight Hero Apocalypse Ravi video. I never made a early Theorycraft video on her. I got busy and I was told like just don't bother since you don't even have her. So if I eventually get her, I will try to build her and then make a feature video on her. But for the time being, just key notes. I think she used to be Capricorn, I believe, and a warrior, which had Fire Ken stats, which is like HP scaling is really high. She still has really high HP. I think still 7,000, but just very like just under Ken pretty much. So obviously I think they changed it because it could have been way more broken. Her kit is incredible. For an ML, 5-star is gonna be great. People are saying that she's gonna be a replacement of Fire Ken. I think they're gonna be a bit different. The scaling is mostly on HP. The damage mod on the S3 is 1.8, very high. Okay, though you can't soul burn it, so no more higher than that. But for a bruiser, she's gonna be like fantastic. A ton of good stuff in her kit. Her S1 also is all bruiser stuff, all like skill from HP. But if you soul burn it, so basically S1 has a 1x mod, 12% self max health for the damage scaling. It has 20% if you soul burn it, but it changes to a 1.8 mod if you soul burn it, the S1. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be really insane. I don't know how she'll look like on paper, but based on, if Ken has a 30% scaling on the S3, but she can soul burn it, even though it is 20 souls, keep that in mind. She can soul burn for 20, so 20% scaling on the S1, 20% scaling on the S3. Turn count wise, I think she'll over time do more damage than Ken. But of course, like I said, she has lower base HP than Ken. So how that's gonna work, I don't know. But her passive is insane too. So the way you can build her is way more flexible than I would say Ken is. So critical hit chance increased by 5% for every 20 fighting spirit. Consume 10 fighting spirit to recover health after being attacked, which is pretty cool. Amount recovered increases proportion of the caster's max health. Begins the first battle with 50 fighting spirit. So it's gonna be an interesting thing, like whether to attack her first or not, both on the offensive and defensive. If you're gonna use her for bait, if you're gonna use her on a defense team, it's gonna be very interesting. So with her dynamic, I just feel that she's gonna be like plopped in with compromising heroes, of course, that would force you to either not attack her or attack her. But either way, it's kind of like bad unless you can try to one-shot her. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna move on here. patch update content number 2. So part 2, I'm gonna include this. Luluka, to me, actually, you know, if I look at this, because I don't have balances on, so of course I'm gonna be biased towards myself a bit. Luluka to me is probably the most exciting hero buff in this batch. I talked about this before, and I talked about this in my Seaside Bologna feature videos, that I feel that Luluka is going to be the better defense breaker when it comes to Wyvern 11. Now, I would have to say that Seaside Bologna is pretty good, but you're still looking at a 50% chance to actually do, like, you know, the actual defense break. I tested with my Seaside Bologna with the Rengar specialty drink. After defense break, after targeting, after she does like her AoE, she does about 17,000 crit damage to Wyvern, the way I've built her at the moment. Now, judging by Luluka's attack, which has the same amount of attack as Fire Tenebria, which is really, really high, one of the highest in the game. She's gonna be a really good damage dealer, plus a really good defense breaker on Wyvern. So, to be honest, I'm gonna build her as soon as I can to be my main Wyvern defense breaker. 85% chance to defense break on the S3. If you run her on a Tisa Scepter, this is a 4-turn cooldown. So 5 turns innate, -1. 4-turn cooldown. If you have a Tisa Scepter on, every skill she does can closely reset this cooldown. Now, the thing is also that this, if you can reset the cooldown on this, you have increased attack, increase the caster's attack, which from the prior, it increases the damage dealt for that specific skill. This is increasing the attack, sort of like Lorena's passive, sort of like Wind Rider. This is not an attack buff, alright? It could be stacked up to 3 times. Now, I don't remember off the top of my head what the scaling is, but every bit counts. If you run an attack buffer on the team, it does stack. So she's going to be insane as a damage dealer herself, and then as a defense breaker. So the S1 here, of course, gets the change now with a 50% to decrease the chance for 2 turns. So we're talking about every time she can actually use this, she'll be able to do just as good of a defense break as Seaside Bologna. Now, I know that, you know, I keep saying Seaside Bologna, it's just because she's new, because people are running her for like some speed runs, but I know that like Tyranna Guard, even though he's a 3-star, is still one of the best defense breakers with CR booster for Wyvern 11. So, you know, don't neglect that. But the fact that I think Luluka can do a defense break with high damage is gonna be the game-changing thing. She has the barrier and the defense up as well for your, you know, frontliner taking the hits of Wyvern 11. So that has an added benefit, especially for newer players who may not have the gear specifically to, you know, have the frontliner like tank really well. But, you know, we have so much stuff right now. If you had sort of a Zera, like you actually farmed that artifact, it was a challenge artifact. If you had that, you put a knight in front and you have like a healer on the side, and you have Luluka and let's say like Luna, Kisei, or Sigret, like a main single target damage dealer, you're gonna eat through Wyvern super fast. So, you know, even if I don't build her, let's say to 6-star level, I still might build her as a 5-star. But yeah, 6-star now is not like a super difficult thing, I think. But yeah, she's definitely gonna be one of those ones I'm gonna try to build decently fast, because I'm lacking speed gear right now. But I think I'm gonna go high damage, high effect, and decently fast, like maybe 180 speed, like standard, like speed set, speed boot kind of build. But all in Sazan, I was saying that out of that batch, when this was announced, he's gonna be like the most powerful buffed hero out of this entire list, I think, based off what he's getting in his kit. But I did that description, I did that talk when they announced it in their dev notes, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. Ludwig, you know, still the same, gonna be great. Gonna be less setup for him, but I think if people are gonna run him for PvP specifically, he's going to still need setup. So invincibility setups like C Armin, Blaze Dingo, even Ruel if you got Ruel, depending on your team comp. But he's gonna be great, but he's more sustainable now for himself. So maybe you would run him for PvE more now, but probably not necessary. I would say he's still mainly a PvP cleaver, pretty much. Tenebria get an increase too. We talked about that before. Leo seems good. Roman, I said this before as well. I think Roman's gonna be insane as a debuff or despeller, especially with ML Baal getting nerfed in the next month. I think Roman might be a pretty decent one to invest in. Different kits, you know, all these dispellers have like different kits. Like Harado could be good too. Roman could be good. Basar is still used. I still see people use Basar sometimes. So it just depends on the meta, I think. But yeah, Captain Ricarus is kind of meh to me. And then Raz, of course, good for newer players, I suppose. But I still don't think people will use him, sadly. Some update content part 3. I wanted to talk about some of the stuff here. The arena, the unknown slate. So just know that there's an unknown slate available after the maintenance. So I'm buying this. I'm picking this up ASAP. For newer players or even people who had just grinded the previous unknown slate or whatnot. I know that there were some people finishing off in the past week. There's another one, so at least there's more motive to continue grinding, so that's pretty nice. Just the unknown slate, no new gear, as is another new season, just the preseason. Hero UI, so yeah, sorry, so this is important too. So Mystic Metal is added to the secret shop, so like I proposed, most likely it's gonna be one pull, but I don't know about the gold price. Speech bubble does not disappear. Yeah, that was a bug. I think it lasted for a whole week. It was pretty annoying because I'm very used to seeing the speech bubble to be like, oh, okay, I gotta check the shop again. But then now, every time I see the speech bubble, my muscle memory is just like click, 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 click. Even after if I've clicked, if I talk to like the guys on stream or whatever, and my attention is diverted for 1 second, I go back and I still click the secret shop again. So it's really bad. So thank you for changing that. Thank you for fixing that. That's really great. Maximum hero inventory slot up to 300. Perfect. I was questioning this before I made the video recording. Hey man, I need the gear slots too. No complaints, but I'm just glad that they're eventually doing this. Hopefully we will see the gear slot changes ASAP. That is the biggest one for me right now. Hero one, yeah, like, you know, they got really good fixes. They got that storage thing that after you pull and you overcap your maximum hero threshold, you know, it saves into storage, and my storage is at plus 99 right now. I don't think I can actually move them in, and I don't think I will move them in, even if I expand it to 300, because I just feel like I need as much space as possible. So unless it's like a 5-star or 4-star that I need right away, I don't think I'm going to be moving any of the 3-stars in, unless I'm mass foddering, or I want to, like, you know, silver transmit stones or something maybe, and fodder those 3-stars. But anyways, this will be great. This is gonna be great. So I think the cost is the same as it was before. 5 slots for 20 Skystone. This is easily, for any player, you just max this out. I would say more so for the equipment ones, but for the hero ones, I think I'm gonna max it right away. Issues cause a lag when promoting heroes has been fixed, and then defend hasn't been promoted. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about on this one. The very last thing, and I would say this is the biggest thing, and we were trying to figure this out on stream as well. So after the update, we will get our 50% Galaxy bookmark and Mystic bookmark. Mystic medals used. I call them bookmarks. It's just Galaxy bookmark, Covenant bookmarks, and then Mystic medals. It's changing the terminology is not doing me any favors here. The reimbursement and eligibility, this is important to know that if you have been following the news for the past couple of weeks, you know that the cutoff was on August 2nd. If you guys follow me specifically on YouTube and even on stream, I pulled my ML Cecilia before the cutoff. I did it obviously strategically for multiple purposes. One of them was to get the Mystic medals back, so 50% of that back, which is great. The only thing that I will have to note is that the reimbursement period stated here August 8th to August 22nd prior to that update, and then received the reimbursement via mailbox, players should accept this mail within 14 days. Now, in this previous, this highlighted summon system improvements note, it did say it was going to come in batches. Now, at the time when I read it, I thought the batches meant like, so per player. So like, for example, Jag and X, you get 30% of your 50% reimbursement in this first week, and then you get another like 33% on the second week, and then you get the rest on the third week or something like that. I thought it meant that in terms of batches, but based on this, and we were speculating this on stream, and I don't have an answer, is that there could be possibly the batches as in players specifically. So like, I could potentially get mine on like the last day, whereas like other players might be able to get it on the first day. So only noting this so people don't panic if they don't see all of the refund right away. All right, so we will find out like soon after the patch, of course, whether or not we are getting them in batches as, you know, what I said formerly, or are we getting them in batches what I said later. Because obviously in my community, my Discord community, people are going to be like, hey, I didn't get my mystic medals or whatever. And then once we see that, then we know that the batches mean like players. They're going to give it into wave of the players in the actual game, and not batches within the players individually. Right? So does that make sense? So for me, you know, the only thing that I would say might cause complaint, and it's not me complaining right now myself, that might cause complaint, is that maybe some players wanted to pull ML Ravi with a specific like Covenant 5-star in mind, and they might not be able to do it since the so I think it's Assyria on this coming banner. So after the patch, people might really want Assyria because maybe they got Tamarine and they're like, okay, this is the perfect one to pull, but then they might not be able to get their refund back. Yeah, no, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But just wanted to note that we don't exactly know what batches mean from the previous note, so do not panic if you don't see anything in your mailbox. Just know that we will get it within 14 days. So within the 2 weeks until August 22nd. All right. So that's it for this one. I'm going to end this here. So this is another session of reading between the lines. And if you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.